Now, COVID-19 has negatively impacted on the arts and culture industry, with concerts and events halted under lockdown regulations. Musicians and President of the South African Music Industry Council, Eugene Mthethwa, have been talking about this broadly on social media. He joins us now to talk about the plight of the artists. Nyambose, good evening and thank you very much for your time. All right, I don't know if you can hear me, Nyambose. Are you there? Good evening. I think you're still on mute.
How are you, sir?
Ah, there you are. Now I can hear you. Good to have you with us. Are you picking up a pattern, a consistent attitude, one would say, but a consistent way in which artists are being dealt with during this time of COVID-19?
Well, I wanted to start by saying, or maybe let me greet your viewers first and appreciate the opportunity you are giving us to actually talk about this situation. I wanted to start by saying, indeed, not all animals are equal in the zoo. I'm listening to the tourism sector and it's getting this, incentive. And I'm thinking, oh, what about our sector? No one is talking about such things and issues of transformation and all that. It has become, for us, it has become a cliche. The word transformation has become a cliche to us because no one details what transformation it should be. And that's where we are lagging behind. And I want to say to the CEO, Chief Viewer, there's cultural tourism. Don't forget us. We are part of that tourism sector too.
You've been
now with the
making various calls, though, including to the President, Hire's office. I know you have had several engagements or even maybe bump-ins with the Minister of Arts and Culture. Is your message filtering through?
That's why I'm saying not all animals are equal. We have been dealt with in a very shabby manner, and there is so much arrogance, there's so much, even the activeness of government towards us, it's not there. And I am not surprised when there are people who are saying minister should go. And I want to say it is a genuine call. He is not meant for this sector. There are sectors that require somebody who's happy and who's bubbly. Like for instance, I know, for instance, Mbalula would have done a better job, and I want to follow in the words of Julius Malem, because it requires somebody who's very vigorous, who is going to say there is a need for transformation in the sector.
Yeah.
When it comes to the issue of COVID-19, we know that artists are not employed. They are not earning salaries. Under general circumstances, they don't earn salaries. Now, when you are treating this sector as if it is a formalized sector, it shows that you are disconnected to the sector, because the criteria, that the issue of a humanitarian call for help to be reduced into a process that requires one to qualify. In other words, you're saying there are those that qualify to live and there are those who qualify to die.
Yeah.
Now, those that don't qualify for the relief fund.
The plight of musicians and artists in South Africa generally is not taken seriously, because in good times, politicians call you and you dance with them and you take the salaries that they give you and you forget about these issues. It's only when it is tough times that you remember about these issues of transformation, and therefore they just never take you seriously.
Yeah, there's that understanding. Generally, we do understand that we are used, and comrades would say we are used like condoms. Sorry for that language, but that is the honest truth. That's how we are used. But also, when you look at the issue of appointments in our sector, when you look at the health sector, there's always a doctor who's appointed to be a minister of health. But when it comes to our sector, it's always people who don't understand our sector. And this sector is a very complicated sector. It's a complex sector that people undermine, but when they are in, they realize that it is a very complex sector. As I said, that artists are not earning salaries. I mean, at the moment, we started from level 5. That was in March 2020. To now, we have never had events because all the events are shut down. So the sector hasn't been working for 10 months.
So what are you calling for? Are you calling for the scrapping of the adjudication process? Are you scrapping for a process of vetting or for those who qualify? What are you calling for?
The vetting process, it shows that people don't understand who they are dealing with, because you're expecting people who are using pseudonyms to have tax clearance certificates, to have financial statements, to have bank statements of 3 months. Artists are seasonal. I mean, artists and actors, they work seasonal. It is dependent on shows. And you know that during December, I'm saying that 10 months because from December, most people ended earning or doing shows or performing in December 2019. So the whole year they haven't done anything, and up till now. And all events are not allowed. And if I have to do a show and only invite 250 people, then I am running that show at a loss, because I'm not gonna make any money out of it. I've got people that work for me, backing singers, we've got bands, we've got everybody, roadies, engineers, and all these lighting, and it is not taken serious, it is not understood, and it requires somebody who understands, who comes from the sector, and we would appreciate if that could be done. And I'm joining the voices that are saying minister must go, and it's not personal.
That's the president of the South African Music Industry Council and musician, Eugene Mthethwa. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us.